Oh, you're being ridiculous. He's a professional football player.
No, look, I'm not talking about killing the guy. I'm just talking about going up there with a group of dudes and intimidate him, maybe break his arm.
You can't break Tom Brady's arm.
Oh, yes, I can. No more Super Bowls for that pretty boy.
Listen.
Robert better not get in my face, because I'll drop that mother.
What did you say? What the f*** did you just say?
Bomberowski to the near side.
What are you, a fucking lunatic? You and your mom are hillbillies. This is a house of learned doctors.
I respect him as a coach, but I'll be damned if I allow someone to,
But I'm gonna kick you repeatedly in the balls.
You got long balls, man. Long balls. You got long-ass balls.
You can't pick off.
You know exactly what you've done, sir.
That's bullshit. I'll say it again. It's bullshit.
Nah, I'm just pissed off.
Let me tell you something with absolute honesty and concern for your well-being. Tom Brady would kick your ass.
You know, I was rude and inappropriate, and I just want to say I apologize.
I'm sorry that anybody could be offended by something that we were just having fun with, and I enjoyed it, and we're going to continue to do it.
Ladies and gents, welcome back. It's the Ricky Williams Trilogy. I am Seamus the Moose Anderson, up here in not-so-sunny New England. I'm joined with my two boys, both on the West Coast, arguably the best coast to some. We got John B. Eazy Darnell out there in L.A. Johnny, how's it hanging, kid?
Yeah, things are good right now. Things are real good. How are you doing over there on the East?
I could not complain. I could not complain at all. And in Duke, we got Duke Thompson out in Seattle. Dukey boy, how are you?
Fucking excited, man. Week 1, football is back. No more preseason bullshit.
I know. And you know what's interesting, speaking of preseason, is last week, I believe there was a lot of talk going on about preseason possibly only being 2 games, and the season being extended 2 games and or 2 more playoff teams or 4 more playoff teams.
I love that you're getting hard for no reason here, Moose, because none of that shit's gonna happen anytime soon.
You don't think so? You don't, dude?
No, because there's money involved.
Yeah,
there's money, and there's money. Okay, do you not understand? There's money. Okay,
but either way, there's going to be the same amount of games. You're going to make more money in the regular season than preseason, no?
You're not getting this, are you, Moose? Money. All right. First off, the money that the players are going to have to get paid. They get dog shit during the preseason. So now 2 extra games where they got to pay them real money. Owners ain't trying to do that shit because are you kidding me?
That's all I hear on the radio is all the time the experts saying that.
You're telling me that the owners want to spend more money? Is that what you're saying?
They're going to be making more money with 2 more playoff games.
They're not making any extra money. They're not making
TV contracts, man. Money. Dude, money's out there. They're just going to get it.
Dude, they're getting free money already with those 4 preseason games. You got 2 games in which you have at home where you just have money flowing in. You're not paying those players hardly dick, and people are coming in there still spending the same amount of money they would spend for a regular season game because they love football so much.
I could get a ticket for $35. You know what the cheapest ticket for a regular season game is in New England? $320.
Now, is that from the actual stadium or because people have purchased all the tickets and are reselling them? I think that's more the case. So it's not actual face value, okay? Like they can't be selling the nosebleed sections at face value of $250. Ain't nobody buying that shit. But then once it's been purchased and resold over and over again.
All right, so Moose, you've heard this, that they're going to extend the season to 2 games and cut the preseason in half, right? You've heard this, right? Makes more money for the owners when you have 2 games.
Regardless of the money aspect from it, the CBA, the players are going to demand less preseason games, and I think the players are actually okay with it.
Well, because they
everything I've heard on the radio and all the talk shows I listen to, the owners seem open to the idea. But here's the thing, Jonathan, is there's a play to this. If they take 2 preseason games away, the owners have a stake in this somehow. Because you're right. They want to make money. This is a business. It's their business. So they're going to make money some way or another. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be down to 2 or 3 preseason games real soon.
Oh, dude, I hope they just wipe it away. Just let them just do 1 preseason game.
No, you don't want to wipe it all away because then you get the slap.
It's just, NCAA.
way.
No, they one preseason game, and then the rest is just like scrimmages and practices against other teams, man. That's
Well,
what
dude,
it really is at.
When you guys were growing up, was it 6 preseason games?
I think it was still 4, right?
Yeah, I think it was 4 when we were
Because
growing up.
back in the day, there was 6. 6
And, like,
preseason.
And training camp was like 12 weeks long, some crazy shit like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
think that was before our time.
Yeah, that was like, that's 60s, 70s. Yeah. I think we were just at 4 when we were growing up in the 90s. Crazy. And I thought that was back when I was dumb and thought, preseason was like, oh, look at these guys. They're going to make the team. Yay.
Well, here's what's really dumb is that why does this even matter? The players that we want to see aren't even playing anyway. So really, this is for you to see who else you want to keep on the team and not cut. So like, I don't really see why this is anything that the actual ownership and anybody upstairs would want to happen. You're now actually losing chances to see these people actually have gameplay because you know who your starters are. You know who's most likely making the roster, but you still got to figure out some of those bits and pieces along the way. And that's how they find out these bits and pieces now because, again, you know who you're playing, so you don't have to worry about that. So Aaron Rodgers ain't playing. You don't have any of the damn Rams playing. So you know who's playing, so don't worry about them, and then just have it be practice, which it is, to see who you're going to cut off the team. I mean, that's really what it is.
That's like culture change too, because with all these new coaches and everything, put more emphasis investing in players because we've seen too many players get hurt during the preseason.
It happened this year with Miller, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like these guys now realize how valuable these players are. And they're just going to sit there because really, it was the preseason for like the last 4 roster spots, maybe last 3. I mean, and then
that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, that's what the preseason is really for now. It's just to fill those last few spots and let your second string get some action so that they can kind of know what's going on by the time the season begins.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just a formality. I totally agree. I mean, Gunnar Olszewski, the wide receiver and punt returner, or turned punt returner. He was a cornerback in college. He didn't have a shot in hell making an NFL team if there's no preseason. He was digging ditches in construction before we called him. So It is important for those 5 slots that make it in. It's also important for practice squad. What is it, 10 people per practice squad or 8, something like that? So those guys you can develop, right? That's, for all intents and purposes, that's the minor leagues for your team, right?
Pretty much. Because there is no minor league team unless they make the XFL the minor leagues, and then we don't need to talk about preseason at all.
Right. Well, that's never going to happen because NCAA will make damn sure it doesn't.
Yeah, dude, minor leagues is NCAA, man. That's what you think Saban's doing out of Kentucky, man. He's making minor league team, making those semi-professionals as possible. They're getting paid. We know they're getting paid, so we call them professional athletes, man.
Right. But back to preseason, I think they're going to go down to 3 games. I don't think they're going to cut it to 2.
2 games, dude.
I don't think they're going to cut it to 2. I don't.
I'm telling you, man.
Here's why they can't even cut it to 3. How are you going to make all the owners happy? Because that means maybe one guy will only have 1 home game while another guy has 2 home games. So you now have 2 opportunities to make money while this dick over here is only making 1. So it's got to be even. So either you go 2 or you go 4, but 3 ain't going to happen. So they got to figure out one of the 2. And I don't think 2 is going to be enough to keep the owners appeased. So I don't know what they're going to do.
I want to agree with you.
Season, man.
I don't think you're entirely wrong. It is interesting, though. I mean, we saw so many injuries this offseason, and guys just dealing with bullshit. Like all this Antonio Brown stuff, it's been too much. I need just football to come back. Just need it back.
Well, that's what Thursday's for. But, we've had a lot of actual football action here today. By that, I mean lack of clothing. Because the body issue came out, everybody, and there's been a lot of naked football players featured. Now, the whole offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles decided to get naked and show off their bodies. There was also Keyshawn Johnson's nephew of Michael Thomas. He also decided to bare all. But really, we need to talk about Myles Garrett because, again, as the Moose said earlier, I think he said he was a Greek god or something. I don't know.
He's a fucking specimen, this guy.
A specimen, something.
How can you be that chiseled, like that much of a machine?
Well, it's true.
And
Working damn good genes, man. That ain't
good too, right?
dude, look at his genes, man. Look at his family, dude. That man is like, you can say he's a Greek god. And hard work ethic, because you know what? I'll be honest, man. White people can't look that good, man.
What? That's not true.
Say, man.
That's not true. As a black person, I can't let you say that.
Yeah. And you can't always be getting on my case about everything and then come out something stupid out of your mouth. Like,
how's that stupid, man? I'm just saying opinions, man. I mean, you know, that's all.
All right.
I mean, like, dude, man, I'm just saying.
White
Like,
looks just as good.
dude, man, like a ginger don't look that good, man.
A ginger?
Jesus. You're gonna attack the moose right here in front of everybody on the
redheaded,
Are you ginger? I'm not even saying ginger, dude. It's
all right. It's all right to be moose. It's fine.
I didn't say
not
it's
ginger.
I just said I'm not a ginger.
No, you're not.
You're
I never
mostly,
said you were.
You're reddish brown.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'll give you reddish brown, but only in the face.
That's not even reddish brown, man. That's
all
brown.
That's all brown. All brown.
That's brown. That's Irish Catholic brown, man.
Hey,
well, boys, coming in the first week of the season, obviously we couldn't be more excited. We've been spinning the wheels during the off season here. I mean, we're talking about golf, Little League World Series, the World Cup. It's been it's been a fun off season, but I'm ready to get back to it. So, I mean, I'm kind of curious how you guys think.
You were the one that was the most jazzed about the World Cup. I mean, I'm surprised.
Yeah, you were jazzed about the Little League World Series and shit.
I know. I'm just saying I was spinning the wheels. What I really want to see is guys knocking each other's brains loose on the line. All right? That's really what I want.
I mean, now after seeing Myles Garrett's body, I feel like he needs to stop playing football and go model. You know, like I don't think he should put himself in danger like this anymore.
Could you imagine lining up against that gentleman? I would not. He's a beast, dude. He's an absolute monster.
He's pretty big. He's pretty big.
Have quick passes, man. Get that ball out quick because
he said quick passes.
Quick passes, dude. Boom, 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 man. Because that motherfucker is fast, dude.
You're a fool.
Do this weekend. What do you think your game strategy is going to be? Titans versus Browns. Big off season for the Browns, and you know they've been hyped. So I know you're on it.
But wait, are we already getting into that?
You guys, I got a question for you guys. Is this like the most hyped team you guys ever seen in the off season? And like, I don't remember a team that's probably got that much hype. In like,
I mean, what do you mean, unproven hype or just hype in general?
Unproven hype.
All right, well, yes, probably unproven hype, yes. But, I mean, they hype teams up all the time during the offseason because they know we got nothing else to do. So, like, they hype up teams like they'll be like, oh, man, check out the upcoming Steelers season. We got Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. Oh, no, we don't have them anymore. What's good? Like, I mean, look, dude, they love to give us hyped up drama on teams during the offseason. But it just happened to be the Cleveland Browns this year.
It kills me, though, because these guys like are unproven, man. I mean,
they're unproven.
There's just some good teams out there, man. Just crazy how.
Yeah, technically, every team is unproven.
Well, instead of the Patriots, we fucking know they're going to the AFC.
Yeah. Okay, there are a few teams that are proven.
Yeah.
The Patriots are fine every year. No one's that they're not going to do something. The Steelers are also up there. The Ravens are usually a team where everyone's
Ravens are pretty decent every year.
Exactly. So, like, before the season starts,
the Steelers are always in the mix, regardless.
But that's because of they're like one of America's team, man. They're one of the biggest fan bases too. Steelers, Cowboys, because that's the only games you can watch back in the '70s, man.
That's true, man. Cowboy cheerleaders, man. Everybody got on the screen for
It's
those.
like if Patriots are good back in like the '70s, '80s. So they beat Chicago in that Super Bowl. They would have been those fan bases would have been huge, man. Would have been blowing up, man. Blowing up. It's like the Chiefs. If they won those Super Bowls, they would have been blowing up.
Yeah, if they won Super Bowl I, things would be different. We would be the Packers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you would, dude.
You know, like, but no, we lose, and now we've got that stain on us forever of losing the first Super Bowl. And that stain is just – it's smeared all over their red jerseys every week, I feel. But anyway, hopefully we can get that stain.
But back to the Browns. Yes, my strategy is
another stain team.
Yes. Hey, I mean, I want them to be good, but it's like, dude, you know, you gotta learn how to. You gotta crawl before you walk here.
All right, dude. I mean, in
That's
fairness,
all.
that's true, but they did put together a
This
pretty
ain't
good
Madden.
campaign.
This ain't Madden though, man. We know
Yeah,
that.
but it was a pretty good campaign. I mean, I'm not saying that, the team was amazing, and I'm not saying the team was bad. The team was mediocre. When you're 7-8-1, and I mean, weren't like 2 of those losses before what's his name took the field? So
and none of those wins were against playoff teams.
well, I know. Well, look, dude, we can say that about your team.
Who did we beat last year?
We sure didn't beat the Colts, who made the playoffs.
We beat the Patriots.
Yeah, well, you didn't beat the Colts twice. And they went
but still, I mean,
well,
we beat more playoff teams than the Browns did.
Yeah, man, but did you beat did you beat any playoff teams when it mattered? I mean, they happened like in the beginning.
It doesn't matter because we played till you win every single game, man. There was a few games that we lost last year we should have won, and we wouldn't have been in that position. The Chargers, fucking, yes, we know the Texans
playoff team.
Yeah, but we should have won both games. We split the division with them.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, every pro team should win every pro game.
No, I'm just saying there was just a couple of games was like I saw it, then our record would have been 10 wins. That's it, and that would have put us in a different position for the playoffs. That's how each game does. That's why I love the NFL, because each game does fucking matter.
I mean, if you put it that way, dude, I mean, teams could be 7-9 that ended up the season 10-6. Like there's all kinds of.
That's why I love it. Exactly, dude.
There's always
you never know, man.
I mean, the Patriots should not have lost to the Miami Dolphins. All right, let's be real honest on that. That was outrageous.
That was the most, and don't call it a miracle, okay? Like
no one even said it was a miracle.
Yeah, they did.
They're printing T-shirts.
They were printing T-shirts calling it a miracle, man. What were you?
All right, fine, dude. Now it's the Miami Miracle. Are you sad that there's another miracle to take?
No, I'm just saying regular season stuff doesn't matter too much. Postseason, you can call it a miracle. Regular season.
I love how you're like in postseason you can call it.
Postseason matters, man, because you know why? It's either you win or go home, man.
All right, well, dude, first off, every game every team has against the Patriots is a fucking postseason game. So don't act like
because that's excellent.
Because everybody circles that game. Like, why do you think the Titans beat the Patriots and they can't beat nobody else? Because they circled that.
Dude,
game.
how did we beat a lot of other people, man? I mean, we went.
Man, you kept listing every playoff team that you've lost to.
Okay, like you just saying, dude. Okay, look, we beat the Patriots playoff team, right? We beat the fucking Eagles.
Great. This wasn't the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, so they don't even go. I mean, come on.
So what does that fucking matter, dude?
Well, I mean, come on, dude.
I
All
mean,
right, fine. That's fine.
Like, why are you always like that, dude? I mean, what are you?
All right, fine. Those are 2 playoff teams. Can you list all the playoff teams you lost to? Because the ratio doesn't exist. It's not a good ratio if you want to put the wins and losses to playoff teams.
Let's see, man.
Well, I'm saying, like, you lost to the Colts twice, so that at least ties it up right there.
Also, too, the first game that we lost to, our fucking defensive coordinator had a heart attack and had to leave the game.
Okay, well, did the players all have a stroke with them? Did they all have
so, like, you don't think the defensive coordinator calling plays matters?
You're
saying?
All right, first off,
go out there like that's your leader, man.
You can go fuck yourself because you have a defensive head coach. So don't tell me he don't know how to coach. All right,
but he didn't scheme for the game, man.
But he's still a defensive coach.
That's his job, dude.
He's still a defensive coach, and you know that. So you can't. No, you can't just shrug it off and be like the head coach don't have responsibilities no more.
I think he has responsibilities, dude.
So if something like that happens,
he can just jump in and out, man.
He should be able to. He should know what's going on there.
Can I jump in here real quick?
You sure can, Moose.
Oh, okay.
Every single person on that sideline should know what to do if somebody goes down.
Dude, but I'm just saying, like, the guy has a heart attack within like 10 minutes. Dude. Like, this has come a traumatic thing when you're playing a game. You don't know if your coach is going to live or not, man.
Okay, dude.
You guys just
in a game, people take nasty hits, and you still play that game because that's the game.
Guy had a heart attack.
Dude, you've seen people get paralyzed on the field, break limbs. You're going to tell me you don't finish the game? You don't finish the game?
Yeah, you play for him.
dude, the defensive coordinator had a heart attack, dude.
He's not the first ever defensive coordinator or coach or anything to have a stroke, heart attack, or anything above that on the sideline.
So last year we beat the Texans once, so that's a playoff team, right? Okay, so we beat the Eagles. Then we beat the Patriots, and we also beat the Cowboys.
All right, now
all playoff teams.
Now, which playoff teams did you lose to?
Just 2, Colts and Texans.
No one, and so then you just lost to other teams that were not competition. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
The Bills was absolutely just ridiculous because that was just a mental fight. I have no idea how the fuck we lost that game.
That's even more upsetting.
It was the most nastiest shit because we were watching that game together. That was just embarrassing.
Oh yes.
And then Los Angeles Chargers when we were in England. We really, I like the aggressive play going for.
Well, the Chargers were a playoff team,
but we didn't just convert a 2-point conversion, man. I mean, it was just it's like one of those things like, okay, you go for the get tie. I felt like we should just go for the tie and beat them on the field. But one play, whatever. That's the way she goes. But that's why we love the regular season, man. That's it, dude. Game 1 to game 16 matters, dude.
Hey, well, every game matters in the regular season. That's why we salivate for it. That's why we get hungry.
That's my beef with college, because, dude, unless you're Tennessee and get beat by Georgia State. Yeah.
Well, look, every game. Now, here's what's messed up, though. Every game does matter in college football if you're in the top 10. All right, because every game you're trying to impress somebody. But if you're not in the top 10, those games don't really matter.
I know, dude. But I'm sorry. Screw Tennessee. They're going to lose to BYU this week, too.
So. Hey, a couple of their players left the team. Neither one of them was a wide receiver that kind of played. Another one was some player who didn't really play much.
Did you see the tweet of why he left? It was a meme of a pimp, and he labeled him Georgia State going to the bank with a cash full of money. And says Georgia State just got paid to beat Tennessee's ass.
Yeah, well, here's what's funny though, dude, because Georgia State hasn't even been a team for that long.
No,
I mean, I feel like they're doing like an Appalachian State situation there, dude, where like the team is probably better than they give off to be. Because like last year they didn't win anything, but that was their first year, their first campaign. They won 3 games. You shouldn't win any games if it's your first year playing football. So something's good going on there that they weren't talking about in Georgia State, and then they just got these boys hyped up and ready for the next year, and they're believing in themselves.
And Georgia State rented out a van, one of those trucks, like you see in Vegas with advertisements on it.
Mm-hmm.
They rented one of those out in Atlanta with just the score of the Tennessee game, just rolling around Atlanta, trolling people. I was just like, that's awesome, dude.
Well, they should troll it around Knoxville if they really want to troll pretty hard. But, folks, this is pretty much a good time for us to take a break because when we get back, we're going to have a long, long, heated discussion, I'm sure, about the first week of the NFL. So stay tuned to the Ricky Williams Trilogy. Things are probably going to get crazy in the second half.
Woo!
And we're out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ricky Williams Trilogy. It is time. That's right. It's time for your Fumblerooski weekly sports news update. Indianapolis starting quarterback Jacoby Brissett has negotiated his own deal with the Colts this past weekend. His new deal is a 2-year, $30 million extension. When asked why he didn't hire an agent to negotiate, he stated that he don't like other guys bullshitting him. Antonio Brown's helmet fiasco has officially concluded. It was reported today by ESPN's Adam Schefter that Brown will wear the Zenith Shadow. He believes this particular helmet makes him more agile and comfortable and allows for better visibility. Ezekiel Elliott and the Dallas Cowboys have agreed to a 6-year, $90 million extension. making him the highest paid running back in NFL history. The deal also includes $50 million guaranteed, which I believe is 28 more than Todd Gurley's. And finally, week 1 of the NFL is here. Game 1 of the 100th season in professional football will be tomorrow night between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field in Chicago.
That's right. We're going to finally have some football.
Oh, yeah, man. You know what, too? I'm really, really glad that the Patriots aren't playing tomorrow night. I hate Thursday night games, but with that being said,
whatever. You guys are going to lose 2 of your first 3 games anyway. You guys bounce back, start winning.
And then everybody be like, oh, my God, the building's on fire. The building's on fire. And then they'll win the next 14 straight games.
Yeah, I mean, like, we can write the story of the Patriots season right now. But either way, we will be starting off the season, though, with the Green Bay Packers, a team everybody's excited to see this season. With the Chicago Bears, people are excited to see that defense. Some people believe in Mitch Trubisky. Still, a lot of people don't. I'm on the side that doesn't. But either way, it should be an exciting game because it should be sloppy since most of these players haven't played a fucking snap yet this year. So it should be an interesting game as far as that's concerned. But things are going to be good for teams like the Dallas Cowboys, who signed that deal with Ezekiel Elliott, and he will now be the highest paid running back-ish. Well, because he's got technically more guaranteed money, but it's over a longer period of time than any of the other running backs are doing. It's also got a clause in it where if you screw up, we ain't paying you dick, which I kind of like because they kind of put that same clause in there with Dwight Howard with the Lakers, where I think he's on like almost like a day-to-day contract where they can just drop him if he starts acting crazy.
Something like that, yeah.
So
it's the guaranteed money he has to get back. So Zeke would be even screwed even more because that's
true.
That's his money he's supposed to keep himself, but he screws up. Bam! They're gonna be like, "Give us some money back, Zeke."
Right, and it makes sense, dude. I mean, it's not like he doesn't get into childish misdemeanors all the time. I mean, like he's never. I mean, I think he had that one domestic violence thing, like maybe right out of college kind of situation that they kind of did something with. But after that, dude, all of his other antics have been like childish misdemeanors, where it's like, okay, maybe you shouldn't have been doing drugs and pushing security guards. Maybe you shouldn't be jumping in the, what is that crap, the barrel for the Salvation Army. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Like it's not like you hurt anybody with doing that, but I guess it was frowned upon. Like he does little antics here and there, nothing bad. I mean, look, then he gave money to the Salvation Army, which shows that he's a charitable man. So there's weird things going on with this Ezekiel Elliott guy because on one side he does great charitable things, and on the other side he does things where you're like, that's stupid. But he is also in his early 20s, and if I was a millionaire in my early 20s, best believe I'd have at least 1 or 2 arrests. So, I mean, I'm on his side there.
At least 1 or 2, John. I say over under 5.
Dude, I would have pawned a lot of stuff on you, and you would have gone to jail.
That's right, man. Over under 5, too.
No, well,
That's
dude,
going to jail.
After you had gone to jail so many times that I couldn't have a fall guy, I'd have to clean up for a little bit.
Why do I have to be the fall guy? Huh?
Because I'm the one making the money. That's how that shit works.
That's crap, dude. That's crap. I'm the one who pull the strings around here. I got you famous.
Nah, it doesn't matter, dude. You got to keep the money rolling in. I mean, I'll join you occasionally. There might be times where we both can't get out of jail. I just get bailed first.
Nah, man. There's other people for that, man. I'm just a little hurt right now,
Look, man, first off, you already know how to get through the pen, so you'll be great anyway.
Just because I know how to do it doesn't mean I want to go back and do it again.
But this time, if you have good money backing you, you can have all the stuff for free.
Still watching a cage, Jonathan. It doesn't matter how much money.
But you might get more rec time. You never know. We might be able to negotiate more rec time.
That's messed up, man.
You're
That's
all
up.
alone out in the yard. And there's nobody else that gets extra rec time. So
well,
wander.
Well, speaking of felonies, man, somebody who should be arrested for grand larceny is Jared Goff. He got extended too.
Whoa, dude, that's some real.
Stole that money, man.
Of course he stole that money. but he didn't steal any more money than I would feel like Andy Dalton has stolen from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, he should be locked up too.
Oh, he definitely should be locked up for those.
Him and Marvin Lewis both. They should share a cell.
They really should. They should. But either way, you're right, dude. Jared Goff somehow snuck away with some real money, like all quiet. Like, I don't know why they paid this man. And ain't nobody else going to pay him. Who do you think was trying to take Jared Goff from you? Like, calm down, Rams. Like, you were
Sean McVay.
Yeah. And, like, so now you're talking about the next quarterback to get paid. He's going to have to get paid something stupid, which it feels like now they're putting even more pressure on the Cowboys with Dak. Now, I think Dak is going to be a reasonable negotiation. I don't think he really is going to be trying to break the bank. I think he just wants longevity security. I think that's what he cares more about than the money. Like, I think what they're trying to do is give him like a 3-year deal, and he's like, nah, how about we spread that over 5? And they're like, I don't know if we want you that long. And I think that's what he's trying to do, you know, like he would get more money through that because it'd be more years. But I don't know if they want to give him the years like they just gave Zeke, you know.
Well, he got 4 years, $110 million. Guaranteed, John.
No, $134 million, $110 guaranteed.
Get $110 million guaranteed, man.
Yeah.
Insane.
No, it's ridiculous. Well, it's because Wentz got $100 million guaranteed. I don't understand how you're giving these people guaranteed money for what? I mean, Carson Wentz has only given you injuries. At least Jared Goff gave you a bullshit Super Bowl appearance, you know, that you didn't deserve. But
not deserve.
No. But the only time the other guy got to the Super Bowl, another person took them there. Like the agents right now are just amazing. I don't understand how you're getting this money from these people, because this is crazy.
I'll tell you why, man. It's fear. It's fear that you're going to lose something special. So these teams lock these guys up, not understanding that you can pull a Trent Dilfer, build a great defense, a running game, and still be successful. I mean, Tom Brady's been doing it for years.
Or you can just have Tom Brady. Like, why don't you just negotiate something that's reasonable where you still get paid? I mean, I know Tom Brady has a beautiful billionaire wife, so he don't really need money. This is just for fun. No, he does want to win.
And so he's going to pay the other guys. Like, the money, like, the Patriots don't pay people until they pay them. Like, Edelman got paid. I think it's Hightower got paid. But the Patriots, they're just so good at making money, like, working it around. That's why they're successful. Jared Goff, he just Flacco'd his team, man. It's like
I don't know if he really did.
They have a ton of contracts they're paying right now, and I don't understand how they're doing it, but they're making it work.
And I don't understand how they're doing it either, man. I feel like some of these accountants are lying about stuff. Because this salary cap don't seem like a cap no more, man. I mean, we're talking about people getting paid crazy money each year, and somehow it's still okay. I just don't know what's going on.
Especially the Sam Darnold contract. He's held out a couple of times. Then you got the Jared Goff. You got the Gurley contract. There's just, I don't know, the Rams are just shady, but I think the bubble's going to burst because last year they tried to buy all the players with Sue, and they signed on him, but he's gone now. But they just try to buy the championship. It didn't quite work out, man. But you know why? You got to change those plays, McVay. Got to change those plays.
I mean, I don't think it's all on McVay. I think what's great, though, is that he has a very smart, old, grizzled defensive coordinator. So, I mean, he could just rely on him on defense, and all he has to do is focus on the O, which is great for him because, you know, if he has to focus on too much stuff, maybe it's bad for him. But I just don't know why I know why they did it, because they have set up a system for Jared Goff, and he knows that Goff apparently knows whatever the hell he's trying to run. So you got to kind of try to lock down the guy that you know knows how to do your system, because if you bring in a new guy to try to figure it out, he probably isn't going to know what to do, and now you're starting from scratch, and then you don't look like Sean McVay no more.
Right. I mean, dude, to be fair, Goff went from arguably one of the worst seasons I've ever seen a QB have to actually, you know, at least getting the ball to his guys. He's definitely not the greatest quarterback out there, and do I think he should be making that amount of money? No. I don't think any quarterback should. But
except Tom Brady.
The position, no. Even him, no. I
don't
think
him.
I mean, again, none of these,
now, Now, none of these players deserve it, but if you told me anyone was getting it, I'd be like, yeah, Tom Brady is definitely deserving of it. Now, if you told me that anybody short of Ben Roethlisberger was getting it, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, at least Big Ben has 2 chips to show, you know? Like,
one of those was kind of stolen from the Seahawks. So.
All right, I don't care how you get it, homie. Chips is chips, all right? So if you got 2 –
not for nothing, but I think Big Ben would have more – I actually think sometimes he's very overrated, but if he had a better coach, because I just don't think Tomlin's the guy.
Well, Tomlin's never had a losing season, man.
Yeah,
that's
he's
true.
No,
No,
that
I'll
is
give
true.
him that.
But if he did, I will agree with you there, Moose. If he did have a stronger coach, and if he didn't have the Patriots in his path, there'd be more rings on Big Ben's hand, you know. But alas, there's Bill Belichick, and there's also Tom Brady. So, and, you know, I would go everybody else, but you know, there's a lot of times, again, to get to the Super Bowl, you got to go through Gillette Stadium, and it's hard to do, man.
Yeah, Bears, Packers at Bears tomorrow night, Thursday night football. I'm gonna go ahead and say I got the Packers on this one, man.
Dude, come on, man. You know, fucking the Bears, dude. I got the Bears on this one.
Yeah, I mean, until the Packers prove that they aren't garbage like they were last year, I'm going to go with the Bears as well.
But
they're at home.
Going to do anything? No.
I mean, yeah, I don't believe in this new head coach. Aaron Rodgers, he's already destroyed his own career by getting rid of the only coach that probably was going to help him out in any way. So whatever, dude. He'll just continue to be like a really good quarterback, but his team won't be good. So sucks for him. Bears win.
Fair enough. I think he's going to show up with the offense. I'm not sure about the defense yet. Obviously, the Bears' defense is stout as fuck, so we will see. It'll be a good game for sure. What I'd really like to see is Trubisky light him up, but that's just me.
I don't know if he's possible of doing that.
No, definitely not. Next game, we got the Rams at the Panthers. Duke, who you got?
I got the Rams just because Cam, we don't know if he's playing. He's took on that ankle injury. I just think without Cam, that team is he was in a walking boot. They say he could play, but still, I think that's going to be hurting him. He just ain't going to be the same Cam to start the season off.
I think the Rams are going to win regardless, even if Cam Newton was out there. Cam doesn't perform very well in week 1, especially if he's performing against a team that is known to be of a higher caliber. He gets, frantic and tries to force things, and then there's too many turnovers. So either way, I think this is a Rams victory just because they have more clout, if you will.
Right. I think the Rams are just more solid. I think they're a more defined team on defense and offense. I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers put up a fight if Cam Newton's out there. I mean, with McCaffrey out there, DJ Moore could have a good game. Curtis Samuels is looking good. So we'll see, but I'm going to go with the Rams as well. The penny picked the Panthers on this one. My apologies. The penny picked the Packers in that first one. Third game of the week, we got the Redskins at the Eagles. Great matchup.
Oh, dude. Oh, come on. Great matchup, my ass. Eagles all the way, dude.
Oh, Eagles without a doubt. No, I'm not saying that it's going to be a landslide, but classic matchup. Come on, classic matchup.
Classic.
Well, I'm not too quick to say Eagles because it's week 1 and crazy stuff happens. We got to find the team that's going to lose because there's going to be these teams that lose.
I do, man. It's the Bills. The Jets are going to win.
Well, I mean, all right, dude. Well, either way, I'm also going to say the Redskins are going to lose in this game too. But you never know. Carson Wentz might get his ACL blown again. But anyway.
That's true. We hope not. We never wish injury upon a player unless.
No, but but he just feels so fragile. He's already got his money now. So
he's definitely fragile. There's no doubt about that. But I do think if he stays healthy, I do still think the Eagles are a tough team to play. I think that defense.
Oh no doubt. I mean, he's great. I don't know if he's the money he's getting great, but
right. No, I don't think anybody in the world should be that worth amount of money.
Except Tom Brady. I do. Tom Brady.
The penny went with the Redskins on that one. A little bit of an upset.
Oh, Penny's drunk.
Right. Next one, we got the Bills at the Jets. I don't even think this is a question. I do not think the Bills have it figured out at all. I think the Jets have a solid backfield at least. I'm going to go with the Jets on this one. I still don't know what their wide receiver core is going to look like this year. They have Jamison Crowder coming in, who I think could actually be good. As far as Robbie Anderson, I think
okay.
No, he's okay. Yeah, no, he's okay. But think about who was passing to him last year. Fucking nobody. So I think he's going to look for a revenge year. He's got that behind him. But yeah, I got the Jets, no doubt.
You know what, man? I'm actually going Bills on this. I feel like their defense is better than people are giving them credit for. And I think the defense is probably going to win this game because I still don't really believe in Sam Darnold just yet. He's still young. Everybody's really big on him. But, like, he didn't have anybody really to throw to.
No.
If it's all going to be based on him and Le'Veon Bell, you can really kind of set up a defense to shut that down. So, I don't know, man. I don't believe in them just yet. They got to prove to me that I can believe in them, and I think the Jets are losing this one.
They will. Sam Darnold, man. National media guy loves Sam Darnold, but I'm looking at this like.
Am I now the national media guy again?
National media guy.
I said I didn't.
But I'm just saying, Le'Veon Bell, they pay that man. They're going to run that man. In the first game, he's going to come back and be like, I'm on beast mode, and I just think he's just going to dominate, man. He hasn't played in a year. He's ready to hit somebody. So
I sort of hope he does, too, because he was kind of the guinea pig for holding out, I feel like, in the national spotlight last year. Like, everyone.
I mean, he's not the first guy to do it, but he's the first guy to go the full season with it. So
right. Yeah. So my point being is that other players are taking that stance now, and it's only because of him. And he got less money out of it, and I hated him last year just for being out of the league because I think he's a great player to watch.
Was he on your fantasy team like you got Andrew Luck this year?
Hell no. If somebody's holding out, I do not draft them. I don't care how soon it is. Zeke, I had a draft yesterday. The news hadn't come out yet, so I wasn't taking him. There was no way.
Wait, but people took Melvin Gordon knowing he ain't going to play all year.
I ain't taking Melvin Gordon either, dude. There's not a chance I'm taking Melvin Gordon. The Penny got the Jets on that one. Next game, we got the Falcons at the Vikings. This could be a very interesting, game. I think the Falcons defense.
I think it's the best NFC matchup we have this first day.
Offensively or just in general?
Just in general.
Yeah, okay. I won't argue with you because those two offenses, dude, if they all play collectively, they can be juggernaut offenses. I mean, obviously, we know Matt Ryan can throw the ball to Julio all day long. As far as Nick Cousins, this is his second year there. Perhaps he could get something else going. He's got arguably the best wide receiver core in the league. So I think it'll be interesting. For this one, just due to the lack of defense, the fact that they're playing in Minnesota, I think always has a little bit of an effect, whether it's in a dome or not. So I'm going Vikings on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vikings as well because I don't believe in Matt Ryan at all, especially on the road. He's not a good road quarterback. I think also losing, was it Coleman, right? Like, I think they don't have him anymore, so that's going to affect their offense. I think they're going to probably want him more when they realize, just Freeman alone might not be enough. So either way, I think they're going to lose this one to the Vikings, who have a lot to prove this year. As long as Kirk Cousins doesn't keep losing games for them, they should win. Like, he always is like, I'm going to get sacked at the wrong time, or I'm going to throw an interception when we should be running the ball. He's weird sometimes, but whatever. I think he might be able to get it together this season.
All right, man, just make a clean sweep, Vikings, because they're at home. Don't believe in Falcons.
All right. Well, it's not quite a clean sweep. Wow. Clean sweep.
Clean sweep for us, but not the Penny, because the Penny's against us, man.
Yeah, the Penny is drunk.
The Penny is the national media man tonight, and we'll be going with the Falcons. Next game, crapshoot. I think this one's pretty fucking obvious who's going to win. Ravens at Dolphins.
Oh, man, dude, yeah. Ravens. Oh, no way. I'll take that back because last year the Titans played the Dolphins. It was like horrible down there. So, yeah, no, well, I'm going Dolphins.
Dude, it's going to be, I got to go Dolphins. It's going to be 100 degrees. Fitzmagic is on, it's
right. Yeah.
The magic is always there in week one. I got to go with Fitzmagic, man. Like, it's going to be a Dolphins victory somehow. I don't understand why and how, but I think they'll get it done.
You know what? I was thinking Ravens without a doubt. Same thing as Duke. You know, as soon as I heard it, Ravens, Dolphins, Ravens easily. But you've almost changed my mind because Fitzmagic is going to throw the ball.
He's going to throw it a lot, and it's going to be really hot. And they're up in Baltimore. They ain't going to be ready for Miami Heat week 1. I mean,
Also, y'all, Miami's a crooked place to play. So the Titans, the Patriots, there's some shady calls. It's just a shady place to play.
It is probably a little shady down there in Miami. They have different rules down there. It's a different part of America.
Doing cocaine on camera.
Wow. Okay. No one said that anybody was doing cocaine on the field.
Yeah, well, on the we know that linebacker.
Oh, I know. I thought it was a coach that got.
Yeah, it was a linebacker coach, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. I thought you said a line. I was like, whoa, dude. I thought it was a coach, but
he wasn't even like an important coach either.
No, he was not an important coach. So that means the important coaches were doing it. They just didn't get caught with a camera. But yeah, I'm going Dolphins on this one.
I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree. I think the circumstance would say that the Dolphins are going to win just because Ryan Fitzpatrick he hangs it out there.
He hangs dog.
Yeah, the fact they're playing in Miami, that could very well play a part. Personally, I think Baltimore is a more badass city. I think the Ravens are coming out hot this year, and I think they're going to run the ball straight through their throats. So I'm going to go Ravens on this one. And I am the lone Raven holder as the penny goes with the Dolphins. Next up, we got the Chiefs at the Jaguars.
Oh, dude. Actually, I'm going to call this the upset, man.
He's coming after you now, be
no,
easy.
Dude, no, because, it's a trap game, man. I think this is a trap.
Why would week 1 be a trap game?
It's a trap game, man. Because
trap games don't exist in week 1. You got to play week 1 like it's week 1. What are you talking about?
Dude, I don't know, man. Just something sort of scares me, man, about those Jags down in this early of the season, man. I don't know who they are, man. Are they going to have that defense from a couple years ago? Is Nick Foles is going to be a big baller out there? I mean, it's Jacksonville is a tough place to play, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong in the sense that Jacksonville is a tough place to play. They've definitely improved in the quarterback slot. However, I think just working with D.D. Westbrook is not going to work for Nick Foles. I think it's going to be a very poor situation, just like when he was in St. Louis. I think he's been thrown into an offense that he has no weapons like he did in Philly. So I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs on this one.
Right, dude. Duke, if the Jaguars had anything on offense besides Fournette, I'd be on your side, man.
Fournette, dude, he came back fucking ripped. He dropped 25 pounds. This is
but you can't just get it on solely a running game, especially since this is a passing league now.
Oh, don't give me that crap, dude. I'm sorry, but
what?
Guys act like they don't even run the ball no more.
What are you talking about?
He was going to have the biggest year ever, dude.
Oh, my God.
You watch. That's why I drafted him, Moose. That's why I went Sonny Mitchell. He's going huge.
All right. Well, either way, let's get back to the realism of the fact that they do pass the ball a lot in this league, more so than they've ever done before. Yeah, so with that being said, there aren't a lot of passing options for the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's more on the side of the Chiefs now, especially adding Shady McCoy to the Andy Reid offense, which he's somewhat probably familiar with already from his time with him in Philly. So I got to go with the Chiefs, not just because they're my team. It just seems like the smarter pick.
Right.
I mean, they're only favored by 3. That's what's the most amazing thing about it.
There's not a lot of huge favored games except for the Dolphins getting their butts kicked by the Ravens. There's not a lot of real – I guess the Chargers are really favored over the Colts because they don't have Andrew Luck anymore. But other than that –
the Browns are 5-point favorites, so the Titans. And it went up, actually, I think, to 6 points today, I believe.
Well, boo-hoo, boo-hoo.
I'm not, dude. I'm just saying, man. That's just.
We haven't even gotten to them, man. You just keep wanting to bring up the Titans. Can we just do that?
Yeah, but you were talking about big spreads, man. That's all I'm saying, dude.
Well, the biggest spread isn't even theirs. The biggest one is a 10-point spread with the Redskins and the Eagles. Why don't you bring up that one? You just got to bring up the Titans.
If you told me the Chiefs were going to be only 3-point favorites against the Jaguars.
Because nobody knows what the Jaguars are going to do.
That's my point, dude. That's my point. That's my point, dude. And that's why it's a trap game.
It can't be a trap game in week 1. First, okay.
Anyways,
Continue
moving on. Next game we have your topic of the week, Duke, and arguably our podcast topic of the week. We have the Titans at the Browns, and the Browns are apparently favored by 5. Is that correct?
I think it went up to 6, didn't it?
I see it as 5, but whatever.
I thought it went up to 6 because the public money was coming in on them.
Doesn't look like it is. So calm down. Quit being mad.
That's a if this is money mouth, dude, that'd be a good fucking value right there. I'm just saying.
I don't know if it is, man. Here's the I just value, don't. Dude. Okay, because your team, even though they speak big game when it's a big game, I don't know if they're going to view the Cleveland Browns as a big game because they have only won a few games in the past, and they're not going to get hype for them and circle it on the calendar like they do for the Eagles and the Patriots in games like that. You know,
every game's a big game, man. Every game.
But you know your team doesn't do that, though.
You have to do that. They have to learn how to do that.
Well, but they haven't been doing that recently. Okay, so this is why I'm having some concerns on this because I really don't believe in either team winning the game. I feel like one of these teams will lose the game for themselves. I just don't know which one will lose the game for themselves. You know, will the Titans do something stupid that's boneheaded and then the Cleveland takes momentum and wins? Or is it vice versa? These two teams are much closer than they're putting with this 5-point spread.
That's what I'm saying. That's the value, man. I say it's more like a 2-point spread for Cleveland.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'd say 2 points. I'll give them the field goal.
All right. Well, either way, against my best interests and anything that makes good sense to my mind, I'm going to say the Tennessee Titans because the Cleveland Browns have not yet shown me anything besides 7-8-1. Okay. Now, again, they did well and they do have OBJ. I just don't know just yet if I'm going to believe in that yet. You know, now this could be a game where those maulers come out and maul, and if they destroy the Titans, I won't be surprised. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans destroy them. So there it is.
Thank you. It's just a little bit of respect. I liked it. Thank you. That's all I wanted. Thank you.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
I am going to come at you with.
Oh, you're picking the Browns, dude. Absolutely.
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
you got your Baker. You got your Baker jersey.
Oh, yeah. I'm buying fully into the hype. I think the Browns will put a show on and then we'll lose it the rest of the season, maybe. So, I mean, no, you guys are completely right. Like, we don't know. The Browns could absolutely implode. They could implode. And this would be a game where they could do it, like, on a national spotlight. And very much because Tennessee is not a loved team.
Well, also we got the Browns for I think the next two Monday night football games and Thursday night. And
right, it's nuts. So I think this is a game where they can win. Again, the Titans could win, but I got to see that offense gel too. So it's really
like a pick 'em, man.
Yeah, it's hard to pick them. I'm gonna go with the Browns though because I do buy into the hype.
What did Penny say?
Penny's got the Browns.
Of course. All right. Next game.
I've been picking a lot with the Penny tonight. I really don't like it. Next game
Penny's drunk, man.
Right, dude. Well, I'm not. That's the surprising part. So next game we have is the Colts at the Chargers.
Chargers. I like Phillip Rivers at home, man, in LA.
Yeah, I mean the Chargers are not.
Johnny? Moose?
Until he figures it out, be easy.
Hey, hold on, man.
All right, all right.
All right, just start your statement over again.
Okay, well, I don't know where I was starting with it, but I was basically just saying that Melvin Gordon is not the whole thing that the Chargers need. His holdout, I don't think is going to affect that offense. So I think the Chargers are going to still beat the Colts. The Colts are a really good team, though, man. I don't like this spread being 6.5. If I ever had to bet on this game at gunpoint, I'd bet on the Colts to cover that spread because the team itself is just so good. It's just unfortunate they don't have Andrew Luck throwing the ball to people like T.Y. Hilton. So I got to go with the Chargers, though, because, again, they played a good season last year. They still have Phillip Rivers, who apparently is going to die on a football field or at least have his 12th child before he retires. So
his 12th child gets drafted before he retires.
Good Lord. Well, I mean, I think he's trying to make a football team. Unfortunately, most of them are ladies, so I don't think they're going to suit up. But either way, I'm going to go with the Chargers.
You're on mute, Moose.
Yeah.
My apologies. That was just human error. This is a game where I would really, really like to go with the Colts. An underdog team like that, Jacoby Brissett is no slouch. And I think the team is buying around him. From everything I've seen and read and heard, it seems like they're buying in really because they have no choice. But also, I think they just I think
Stockholm syndrome.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But I think they actually just like dig the dude. I think he's just like a generally nice fella. So as much as I would like to go with the Colts, I'm not going to, only because I don't know what we're going to see out of him. I don't know what we're going to see out of the play calling. And the Chargers, we know, is a solid team.
Yeah, and nice doesn't mean that you're going to win football games.
Yeah.
In fact, it usually means the opposite. Just ask Andrew Luck when he went to the playoffs.
Ooh. Hey, he beat the Chiefs in the most dramatic.
Dude, that was choke job decision. Let's not talk
yeah, it really was.
Let's not talk about that game.
I'll talk about it, man. It happened to my team, and I can talk about it and talk about it.
It hurts me, man. It hurts me to see you talk about it.
I still can't even believe that, man. I was looking at my phone, and
I congratulate you too, man. That was so much.
I looked at it again, and I was like, "Is this a mistake on my ESPN?"
I congratulated you at halftime, and I felt so bad because I felt like I jinxed it, man.
It was ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. Well, either way, there's more games to be had on our first Sunday here, not the playoffs, so things are okay.
That's a fact. Also, the penny went with the Colts.
What?
The penny's drunk.
This penny is out of control.
It is indeed. Next game we have. This one it should be a fucking shooter. This is the Bengals at the Seahawks.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. Do we got to talk about this Seahawks?
I don't think so. Yeah, the Seahawks. It doesn't even have to do with their recent transaction.
No, it doesn't. Dude, it doesn't have to do nothing with that.
I mean, it's just the Bungles are not going to be very good this year. They didn't make any real moves to make themselves better, so I don't know why they think they're going to do better than their shitty season of last year. So, yeah, they're going to probably lose.
Right. I think my only stipulation would be that Russell Wilson has only Tyler Lockett to throw to right now.
Oh, my gosh. It doesn't matter. Like, no, it's the Bungles.
I mean, he's still
matters, but
he can make it work.
Right. And the reason he's going to make it work is because Chris Carson has the potential to be a top 5 running back this year, in my mind. I think they're going to run that boy to the ground. And if he gets
try to work something out of the backfield for him, like maybe get some passes and stuff.
Right, and if he gets hurt, I still think Rashad Penny can get the job done as well. Probably not, but I think Chris Carson's the real deal, and I think he's going to handle that Bengals defense. Next game we have, flying all the way across the country, we have the 49ers playing the Buccaneers at the Buccaneers.
You know what? I was going to go with the Bucs because of the travel, and I think Jameis Winston is going to have one good game this year.
I'm going to go with the 49ers because Jimmy G has to prove something over on the same side as Belichick. He knows that, Bill's over there on the East, and he has to prove something to Billy. Yeah,
that's an interesting take. I did not at all think you were going to go with the 49ers on that one. That surprised me. I actually wrote down the Bucs at first because I just assumed you'd have the Bucs.
Wow.
And it's probably because I thought you were as smart as I, Jonathan. But I may just have the upper hand here, buddy.
All right.
I'm going to be going with the Bucs here. I think their offense is going to be tossing the ball with Bruce Arians around. Their running game is not established. Peyton Barber and Ronald Jones. We'll see. That's going to be a running back by committee type of thing going down there. But I truly do think that Jameis Winston is going to toss the ball this year. I think Chris Godwin is going to overtake the number 1 spot from Mike Evans. I think Godwin's got a load of skill, and I don't think anyone's giving him a good look. So I'm going to go with the Buccaneers on this one. And Jonathan, you're not alone. The Penny went with the Niners as well.
Thank you, Penny.
Next game we have, this is really a game where if the new rookie QB was playing, I'd say it would be a really cool matchup to watch, but it's not going to be because we have old Eli traveling down to Dallas, Giants at the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Cowboys here. No need to explain.
No, I think Zeke is going to go off.
No, it's not even that. I mean, like, what are the Giants going to do dumping it down to Barkley all day? I mean, the man's going to get destroyed.
Yeah, I agree with Jonathan.
So you going Cowboys?
Oh, yeah, man.
Okay.
Because Eli, it's just a matter of time when they bring in, what's his name?
Daniels.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, sorry.
All right, well, that is the first clean sweep across the board. All of us, including the Penny, have the Cowboys. Next game, gentlemen, we have the Lions at the Cardinals. This is actually a pretty tough pick.
Yeah, this is probably the toughest one we've got here. Cardinals are still really bad, but the Lions are just as bad. So, like, what's the lesser of two evils? Like the home team maybe. But
right? Do you trust the brand new quarterback that can run, or do you trust the Matt Stafford that we know can get 17% of their points?
Stafford.
Yeah, I got to go with Stafford. Yeah, I mean, at least he's been in the league for a while. He should know what to do.
Yes.
So I got to go Lions.
This is a tough one for me, especially because you both guessed the Lions, which makes me want to think the Cardinals are going to pull this one out. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with the Cardinals on this one. I think that David Johnson's going to have a good year. Kyler Murray, not proven. I understand that. Don't really have much to say, backed up on my pick based upon that. But I do think that the Cardinals are going to whoop some Lions ass. I do. Next game we have your boys team. We got the Steelers at the Patriots.
I go Steelers.
Yeah, I probably got to go Steelers too.
It's a trap game.
Yeah, you guys always lose the first game.
It's a trap
but
game.
we never lose to the Steelers at home. I'm not too. You guys know me. I'm not too cocky of a fan, but I definitely don't see the Steelers winning. Do I think I've said this before in other podcasts other episodes that I think the Steelers are going to be like the Phantom Knight this year. I think they are going to have a good year because they're quiet, but I don't think it's going to start here in New England. I think Foxborough is just not the place where they win. They never win here, and when we beat them here, we beat them good. It's not just it's a fucking roundhouse. So
you got to remember, y'all don't do shit in September. So
that's true. No, I'm not going to argue with that. No, I mean, I'm obviously not going to pick against my team too, but that's pretty,
I understand.
Next game we have, this one actually I think could be a really good matchup. This is the first Monday night game of the year. We got the Texans at the Saints.
Yeah, right, dude. Saints.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's going to be the Saints. I mean, it might be an entertaining game for like the first half, but I think things will fall apart eventually. In the
Saints at home.
Right. I think the Saints are taking it. Drew Brees is a powerhouse at home. Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray. It's going to be an interesting combo. It's going to be much like Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara were, but I think Latavius Murray even has more of that X factor than Mark Ingram does. I think Ingram is just an old dude that can pound the ball. So I think the Saints are going to win too. I don't know if it's going to be by a lot, but we'll see. We'll see what Bill's plan is to huck the ball down the field this year with Deshaun Watson. Hopefully he doesn't have a punctured lung. And then our last game of the week, gentlemen, that just about wraps it up here. We got the Broncos at the Raiders.
Broncos. Just because of Flacco.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go probably Raiders on this. It's a team that's got more to prove, and they're not – the team itself isn't terrible, even though their coach is awful, but his coaching staff isn't awful. It's a very weird situation they got going on there. So I want to say the Raiders mainly because – I just don't quite believe that Flacco is going to be the savior because just something about John Elway being with a quarterback. I mean, he just sullies them. He just sullies them immediately.
I give the Broncos 4 to 5 wins. That's it.
Well, I mean, I will too on the season, but I just don't think this is going to be the one.
It's the one, lose 3.
I mean, they play the Raiders again. They'll beat the Raiders the second time.
They play them in the
think they
end.
lose. I think they lose to them at this point in time of the year, though. I think they lose to them week 1.
I agree. I think the Raiders are gonna have a good first game as far as it goes past